Miss Ward, is this you in the photograph?
I think so.
Thank you. Miss Ward, are you familiar with one Lawrence Greenbaum?
Yes.
Would you tell the court just who Mr. Greenbaum is and describe your relationship with him?
Lawrence Greenbaum is a friend of the family's.
Go on, please.
He raped me when I was 16 years old. I got pregnant, had the baby, gave the baby up for adoption.
Did you report him to the police?
No.
Because you were receiving money from Mr. Greenbaum.
No.
Which amounted to hush money. Isn't this the same money you used to buy clothes, to go to cafe society joints at night, hoping to find a rich sucker who would give you even more money in exchange for your affections? A rich young man who might also fall in love with you, having no idea of your nefarious past which you've worked hard to conceal. A rich young man like Mickey Jelke.
I've only loved one man in my life.
You loved Mickey Jelke? Or you loved the opportunities you saw? Isn't it true you never loved Mickey Jelke? That your love is of the dime store variety, designed only to last until the next fashion takes hold or
Objection,
until the next
Your Honor.
social-climbing
I
scheme
object
is
to the
hatched.
line of questioning, Your Honor.
Isn't this the same money you used to buy clothes? A rich young man like Mickey
Your Honor, this court has
Jelke.
already answered the question.
Isn't it true you never loved Mickey Jelke?
So, Jack, you happy?
Sure.
Like you mean it, Jack. Come on, this is it.
Good to see you. Here to talk to you. Boyle. Enjoying yourselves, boys?
We were just talking about how well this whole thing came together.
About your testimony, we'll keep it simple, direct. Things you saw, your private impressions of Jelke and that crowd. Just some reinforcement. You're unhappy about something. What is it?
I don't like the publicity.
Yeah, I agree. A little too focused on our office. After all, with your work, we just came in the third act. I'll make every effort to clear that up. Gentlemen?
What the hell are you doing, Jack?
This is bullshit. I'm leaving.
Wait a minute, Jack. Jack, what the hell's the matter with you?
I'm feeling sorry for myself, all right? Me and my pal Jelke. He pimps one girl and he's all over the papers for it. We don't usually even arrest a pimp with only one trick.
What does it matter? He's a goddamn pimp. He's guilty.
If he's so goddamn guilty, then why are we lying about how many girls he's got working for
You
him?
know why, Jack? So the public will sit up and take notice of the decadence that's destroying our society.
You sound like them, Frank.
I am one of them, Jack. So are you.
Hey, pal.
They follow me everywhere. It's beginning to be a bit much. Never thought I'd say that. Mr. Saul is going to be very angry at me. I'm supposed to be in bed every night by 10. My image. So when are you testifying?
Tomorrow.
You know what they're going to ask?
Things I saw, my impressions of what Mickey did to you.
I feel sorry for him.
So do I.
He didn't really do anything to me. Not like they're saying.
He made you think that if you worked for him, he'd marry you.
I knew exactly what I was doing. Just got a little upset when he said he wouldn't marry me. That's all.
That's not all. He made you into a whore.
So what? I got what I wanted, didn't I? And Mr. Sala says that a big movie studio wants to make my life into a movie. I'm going to Hollywood.
You and Sala?
After all, I'll be able to warn thousands of girls across the country not to end up like Patricia Ward.
Sandra Wazotsky.
Patricia Ward. Patricia Ward will tell her story so other girls don't end up to be high-priced whores.
Look, I know what Mickey did was bad, and this publicity hasn't helped, but come on.
Mickey didn't make me do anything. He just said he'd marry me if I'd do it. I wouldn't have done it if you told me not to.
Oh, please.
It's not too much to ask. Remember, Jack? Small price to pay to get what you always dreamed of.
Stop it.
You said I'd get my second chance. That's my second chance. All I ever wanted was my picture in the paper. I'm the most famous whore in New York City now. Thanks to you.
Pat! Pat!
You made me do it, Jack. Trying to get me to make an honest woman out of myself? And for what? To go back to Avenue D and a life
Have some room there, all right? Let's back off a little bit.
All because some cop told me it was the right thing to do?
Stop it, God damn it, stop it.
Back off! Fuck me like
Back
everybody
off!
else! Say it! You just want to fuck me and throw me away! Pale Ward will not be thrown away! I'm going to Hollywood because of you, Jack! You convinced me to do it! For your own ugly little reasons, just like mine! Just like mine! To get what you wanted. Who's the whore, Jack?
Fuck out of here! Hey, we're doing our job here. How about you?
People call Officer Jack Cale, New York City Vice Squad, as a witness. State your full legal name and address.
John Francis Joseph Cale, 311 West 85th Street.
Officer Cale, you're a member of New York City Vice Squad, 19th Precinct. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Briefly, for the court, describe your involvement in this case.
It was my idea.
Could you expand on that?
Chasing after Cafe Society regulars in the hopes of finding prostitution and trafficking within these circles was my idea. I went to my superior, Deputy Chief Rostinsky, and asked for permission to go undercover.
Could you tell us what you saw at the Cafe Society limited parties that you attended?
Pretty women.
Well, could you recreate the nature of these encounters? Give me a typical example of an evening.
Sure. One night I drank a lot, maybe too much, and I convinced Ray Davioni that Pat Ward would be willing to work for him. Later that night, I slept with the madam of the Cafe Society, Erica Steele. I had just stolen her ledger, and she'd walked in on me, and...
Your Honor, I'd like to move to strike.
We were building an
these
entire
statements.
cast around one man simply because it would be good press for Mr. Hogan's re-election.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to strike the previous statement.
Mickey Jelke wasn't any more of a criminal than 1,000 other pimps we come into
The
contact
jury will
with.
ignore the previous
He was a
statement.
dupe. He was just a dupe. I set him up from the beginning, and I delivered him. Much in the
Your
same
Honor.
way I coerced Pat Ward into becoming a prostitute for the purpose of the investigation, which was to ensnare Mickey Jelke. I coerced Miss Ward. I compelled Mr. Jelke. Coercion, compulsory prostitution. You might say I was working for the DA in an effort to procure Mr. Jelke.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to recess.
I got no more to say.
The witness will be seated. The witness will be seated until he's officially dismissed.
I delivered the prize.
Be seated.
And you got your headlines.
The witness will be seated or be cited for contempt.
You want to put somebody's morality on the stand, put mine on. I had as good a time as anybody.